Bigfoot Research Long-Term Study, 25 September 2012. This is day 2, what I call Bigfoot Essentials. Most people don't understand why I would start out talking about cooking or show cooking or something like that, but cooking on a Bigfoot expedition is very important. Not necessarily because you need to be fed. It's what you need to do to notify the local inhabitants that you're there and you've got goodies. One way to do that is to cook food that is very flavorful, very aroma oriented, and use a lot of onions, a lot of garlic, and cook something that smells good. Bacon and barbecue would also be suitable substitutes to cook to make your announcement. Now, a lot of people would say, "Are you nuts? Do you want to attract bears? Do you want to attract other animals into your camp?" Yeah, that's the whole point. However, it is illegal to bait bears, and it is illegal to leave food out for the bears near a campsite. So basically, you want to attract them in by smell. I wouldn't recommend doing this around other campsites or other people that have camped in the same area as you. Notice I'm completely alone, but I want Bigfoot to know that I'm in the area and I've got some pretty good smelling food. Now notice I no longer sleep in a tent, but I sleep inside of a trailer. I wouldn't recommend doing this for anybody that is doing the tent thing. One of the problems I'm having right now is these bees. Don't see too many of them flying around. See if I can zoom in on them. These are meat-eating bees, and people tell me that bees don't eat meat, but I tell you what, these sure do. You can see them swarming my napkin where I drip some stuff. You just have to move real slow while you're around them, and they'll let you basically have your stuff back if you move slow. One thing about cooking up here in high altitude is things don't cook as fast. Water doesn't boil as easy, and so forth. So this stew that I'm making should have been done by now, but I just tasted a potato and it's not quite there yet. It's probably another 15 minutes. But you got to keep that in mind when you're starving to death and you're up here in the high altitude. It takes longer to cook things. Well, I'm pretty sure the stew is done. I'm going to take a peek. It looks like it. I guess I'm going to have to taste it. Go here and fight off the bees. Okay, usually the potatoes are the ones that take the longest to cook, so I'm going to fish out a potato here. I'll let it cool for just a minute. I'm going to have to back off the steam too because that's kind of fogging up the picture. Okay, there it is. Having a little trouble with focus because the lighting. The sun really hasn't come up just yet, and so it's still a little bit dark. But the potato should be cold. Ooh, just right. Potatoes perfect. Hey, that's good stew. I'm going to have a bunch of that. Okay, what we have here is one big bear print. I cast that last night, and it broke right down the middle of the paws, right above the pad. So anyway, what I did was I cleaned it off the best I could, and then I took a a pie plate and put the fix-all plaster in that up to the first ridge, and then carefully set the paw print into the fix-all. So now it's basically a nice plaque. Pretty durable now. So if you ever have a footprint that breaks, that's one thing you can do. One thing when you're Bigfoot hunting and you're out in the woods and stuff like that, and you want to kind of get a handle on what's going on where, just kick back and be quiet for a while and listen. Listen to the birds, listen to the animals around about. Right now, there are 2 crows that are back over in that area, but they're telling me that there's a hunter back there. And how they're telling me that is because they're basically sounding the alarm when the hunter comes around. And you know, I've kind of found that it works 2 ways. There are crows that will try to protect their wildlife and sound the alarm, and then there are crows that will point out a deer or an elk to a hunter. So because they know that if the deer gets killed, the gut pile gets left behind, and that's food for, you know, nearly a month. So, you know, you do have some sellouts among the crows that will actually tell hunters where the deer and the elk are.